So now let us see the example of connecting to Notion's MCP server. We all use Notion. Sometimes we use it to take notes, or sometimes we use it for other purposes. But I am mostly using it for taking notes. So I have a page called DevOps where I can write notes related to DevOps in this particular page. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to connect to the Notion's MCP server, and I'm going to take notes from my cursor, which is my code editor. So we are going to do that. So Notion has their own MCP server, and they have this repository called Notion MCP Server. In this, they have provided the steps to connect to Notion's MCP server. So what we are going to do is we are going to follow those steps, and we are going to do whatever they have suggested, and we are going to connect to Notion's MCP server, and we are going to access some tools inside the Notion from our very own cursor. So here they have provided us the steps. So first we have to create one integration to the Notion. So we can jump into this particular link. So I have already in that link. Now here you can see there's this thing called integrations, by using which we can connect to external LLMs to the Notion's MCP server, and we are going to access the tools of the Notion. So first what we have to do is we have to create one new integration, and here you can give the name of to your integration. I can say, like, since I'm connecting with my cursor, I'm going to give it a cursor as integration name, associated workspace. For example, if you have multiple workspaces in your Notion, you can connect to those workspaces from here, but I have only one, so I'm going to connect to that Tulsidas's Notion, and then maybe you can upload a logo to this particular MC integration. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to do save. So I have saved the integration. Now I have to configure the integration such that my cursor can have access to this particular Notion's MCP server. So let's just say configure integration settings. And here you can see they have provided us the internal integration secret. Basically, this is like a token which we have to put in the mcp.json file for our cursor. So we are going to do that later. But now let us just give this integration some access. So here you can see there's access tab. So you just have to click on that. Once you click on that, you can edit access. So I can do the edit access, and all my pages are private. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to expand this, and you can see the different kinds of pages that are in my Notion's workspace. So there are many pages. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give access to all the pages for this particular integration. So I'm going to select all of them. Once I selected all of them, I'm going to do save. So now this integration can have access to all of my pages in my workspace. Also, yeah, I can go back to the configurations, and here you can see the capabilities what this integration can do. So this integration can read content, update content, and insert content. There's also, you can enable these also, but for this demo, I'm not going to enable them. So what now I'm going to do is I'm going to actually copy this particular Notion secret that I have, and I'm going to save. So now here you can see I have the internal integration cursor created in the Notion's integration. So all right, we can also verify this. So like this. So I already have copied the internal integration secret. I'm going to put that copied secret into my notepad so that I can put that token in the mcp.json configuration for my cursor. So now let us go to cursor. So cursor is a AI powered text editor in which we can access to the MCP servers, because this cursor actually supports integration with the MCP servers. So here you can see we can access to the tools that are provided by the cursor. So currently you can see the tools that are available. There are no installed MCP servers right now. So what we are going to do is we are going to connect to the Notion's MCP server using our cursor. So first, to do that, we have to put that token we got from Notion's integrations into our MCP server's JSON file. So here also you can see it has already suggesting us to go to this particular folder and maybe create an mcp.json file if does not exist, and put the configurations into that. So what we are going to do is because I already have this mcp.json file, so I'm just going to open that file. So here you can see this is the path where you can basically find the MCP JSON file. So this is basically see then you need users, then after that whatever the user that you are currently are, after that you're going to find this .cursor folder. In that folder you're going to find this mcp.json file. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open this with the cursor, because I'm going to put the configurations into this particular file using the cursor only. So now here you can see the mcp.json file is completely empty. So what we are going to do is we are going to go to the Notion's MCP server GitHub repo. Yeah, now here you can actually find the mcp.json configuration for your cursor. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just copy this, and I'm again going back to my mcp.json and select this and just paste it. But here you can see the Notion token is required. So whatever the Notion token that I have copied from the integrations from my Notion, I'm going to put that over here. So going back to the notepad, copying the Notion's token, selecting this, and just pasting my Notion's token. So now it is already saved. So I'm going to close this, close that file. After that, I'm also going to close. Yeah, now you can see it's already enabled. So there's this Notion installed MCP servers, and you can see Notion's API, and there are multiple tools available to us by the Notion's MCP server. So you can get the user, you can get users if there are multiple users in your workspace. Also, you can create a comment, you can retrieve a page, or you can delete a block, or you can do multiple things. So now I'm going to my Notion. So this is my Notion. Inside the Notion, I have this page called DevOps. And now I'm going to do the magic, or I'm going to show you the magic by using my cursor. I'm going to write notes into this particular page using my very own cursor. So I don't have to go back to Notions and write some and come back to my code editor. And if I'm doing something else, again, I have to do this and back and forth. But now I can just do that from my cursor itself. So what I'm going to do is, since these tools are already available, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to write, let me just put this on the side and put this on this side, so you can see both of them side by side. So here I can write DevOps is part of SDLC in DevOps Notion page. Now let us see what can it do. So it is planning the next moves basically. Yeah, now here you can see it is asking us to give it permission to run these tools that are available in the Notion's MCP server. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give it the access run. Let's go. Now let us see what it can do. Yeah, again run. It's planning next moves, again run. Let us see what it. Now here you can see DevOps is a part of SDLC. It just came like magic to over here. So you can have any application. If it supports an MCP server, then you can connect to that MCP servers by following simply these steps, and you can connect your cursor to the MCP server just like that.